just amazing, this road. Look at this, like clinging to the side of the cliff. I mean, I'm sure the extreme weather's having a bit of an effect on my judgment here, but it's like I'm climbing up some sort of active volcano or something. That's just incredible. Hi everyone, and welcome to part 2 of my little GT in a day little road trip to Wales in my XK8. From part 1 you'll know that I've been driving around North Wales, just been to the Horseshoe Pass, and the weather has been pretty bad today, so Storm Dennis really sort of hitting Wales pretty hard and the rest of the UK as well. I'm just on my way to have some lunch. Still got this like ABS light that keeps coming on, so I've done a little bit of talking about that on a different camera, which I'll probably show. But one thing to say is that do not trust the Jaguar sat-nav. So on the way to the Horseshoe Pass, it actually took me round in circles, and I had to drive in a completely different direction to get there, so just didn't know where it was properly. It tried to take me down somebody's private drive. So now on the way to sort of Snowdonia, and I'm not convinced it's taken me to the right area either, so just pulled over to, well, first of all check some ABS stuff. I just made sure that there was nothing like electrical connectors hanging on the road or anything like that. My rear pads are looking a bit low, but I don't think that would cause the ABS light, but we'll see what happens there. So yeah, I'm going to check where I'm going and find somewhere to have lunch, and you'll join me very soon. Alright, quick update on the car situation. So those traction control and cruise control warnings have gone, but I do have this ABS light still remaining. Now that is a little bit of a worry considering the other ones have disappeared. I used my OBD2 reader to try and see what that was, but it didn't actually have a code for it, so I am wondering whether it is just like a bit of a glitch. I mean, it could be if it's not showing up on the like diagnostic reader, so I'll give it a go at like clearing all the codes anyway, and see if it comes back. But I'm not too concerned at the moment. I'll just have to make sure I don't get in a situation where I have to use the ABS. I mean, I'm not even sure if it would still work anyway, even if it was just kind of a fake warning light. But I'm glad that the traction control ones have gone, because that, when you've got a warning like that, you either get like a red or yellow or amber rather little light come on here, and they seem to be the bigger warnings. But yeah, we'll see what happens to that after I try and clear all the codes. Okay, so ABS update number 2. This light's not going away, which makes me think that actually there is a problem with the ABS stuff, and that's what's causing my traction control warning light to come back on again. I've consulted the driver's handbook, and it says you can still drive the car, just take it to a garage at the earliest opportunity. So to me that means, well, doesn't mean drive it straight there, you know, it's not like mega urgent, but I have to get that sorted when I get home. One interesting thing it said in the handbook though is it said like turn the car off and on again and see if it goes away. So it could be an intermittent thing, so after lunch maybe I'll check it again and see if it comes back. But yeah, let's keep going and see what happens. Good news everyone, my ABS light has gone out. I just stopped for some fuel. I was actually looking through the manual, trying to figure out if there was like a fuse that might have blown or something like that, and started driving again, and the ABS light was on, but now it's just magically gone out. Maybe it just wanted a drink of petrol or a little rest. I have no idea what would have caused it to just turn off again, which is really, really good news. I really hope it stays off, because as I said, I got a traction control fault and it said cruise not available. Now coming here, that cruise control was really helpful on the motorway, so I really don't want that to come back on and I'll be without cruise control on the way home. We'll just have to wait and see, and hopefully it stays off. But yeah, I have heard that XK8s do have their sort of electrical quirks, and I hope this is just kind of like isolated gremlins and we don't have constant battle with these little faults that keep coming up. Anyway, great news. I'm really pleased about that. just went outside to take some photos. It's absolutely disgusting out there. I'm just kind of still driving through Snowdonia National Park, and the scenery is jaw-dropping, but the rain is just like really heavy and it's so windy. In fact, in here it's so well isolated from the elements outside. It's such a shock when you get out of the car. In here it's so calm, and the only real thing you hear is just the pitter-patter of rain on the sort of, metal roof and on the windscreen. But it's just really, really bad outside. But yeah, I'm so glad to be in this comfortable environment. I don't think we'll be nearly as comfortable in the MG, and I think you'd probably feel the weather a lot more inside that car. But yeah, I'm going to try and get a camera set up facing forward so you can see some of this scenery. And yeah, I'm loving it. Even though the weather's not great, it's just like amazing roads, the scenery is just jaw-dropping, so I'm just going to keep on enjoying it, I think. It's odd really, because Wales is obviously part of the UK and only a few hours drive from where I live in real terms, maybe 4.5 hours, something like that. But the landscape is so different, just a short distance from where I live. I mean, I can't believe there's such dramatic landscape only a short drive away, reachable in less than a morning, as I'm sort of demonstrating. I feel like I'm in a bit of a valley at the moment, and there's so much cloud and mist around, and the sort of spray from the rain coming down and everything. I think you can just about make out some like bigger hills and mountains around. I don't actually know where Mount Snowdon is, but certainly there are some bigger hills just out of sight in that mist. You occasionally just get like a bit of wind and blow a sort of clear patch in front of your vision, and you can kind of see a looming peak. I think to come back in the summer and actually try and climb up one of these would be pretty amazing, or Snowdon itself. But one of my original ideas, if the weather was better, was to perhaps try and get here and attempt to climb Snowdon and get back down again and drive home in a day. But today I think is not the right day to do that. Plus, it takes something like 6 or 7 hours. Apparently, I don't know if that's just an exaggeration of someone doing it as a leisurely pace, or if that's actually a good time to do it in. But I didn't think I would be able to fit it in potentially. Yeah, just such amazing scenery passing by the window. Just these hills and these streams. But because the weather is quite bad, there's lots of little brooks and streams with the rainwater gushing down the hill, little waterfalls and stuff like that. It really does feel like you're in a different country compared to where I left this morning.
In half a mile, right turn.
Thank you. So it seems to be climbing now up this thin road going up this hill and, into the mist and fog. Gosh, it really is terrible weather. This is just amazing, this road. Look at this, like clinging to the side of the cliff. I mean, I'm sure the extreme weather's kind of having a bit of an effect on my judgment here, but it's like I'm climbing up some sort of active volcano or something. That was just incredible. was a proper warning that I got about that traction control, and in fact it's disappeared now. Whether it would have kicked in if it had skidded, but I'm glad that all those warnings have gone away coming down here. The sort of unsung hero of the trip so far, and that's my new tyres. They've been great. Road noise way less than the previous ones I had, and at no point, even on like flooded roads, they've never lost grip. Even when I thought I'd been maybe going a bit quick into a wet corner or whatever, they've just been perfect. Confidence inspiring. I mean, they're not winter tyres or anything, they're summer tyres, but they've got a good wet rating, and yeah, pretty pleased with them so far. Stuck behind a coach now. I don't know if you can really see out the window this big big rocky hill up there, kind of crisscrossed with these rainwater streams coming down. See them. Amazing. Oh, good. Coachman's letting us pass. Letting us pass too. Excellent. Wow, look at these rocks. I'm sure I recognise some of these roads. I don't know if they were used in Top Gear, maybe. I'll have to look it up when I get home, but yeah, deja vu, even though I've never been here. Right, so I'm back in the car after stopping for my lunch. I did try and give an update in the pub where I've stopped, but they were playing music, so I'm a little bit worried about the YouTube copyright people coming to get me. Yeah, it was really nice, just sort of had a beer and a burger. I'm not sure how that's going to be later, driving back when I'm a bit tired, but I can always stop and have a coffee or something. But what amazed me was actually the time I got here. So when I left the Horseshoe Pass, I think I said in part one that was about 10:30. It's now, after having some lunch, 1:45. So used up a fair bit of time getting over here. Obviously done a bit of the sort of like hilly roads and things, and stopping for pictures and checking my sat nav and faffing around with this ABS light and stuff. But it does mean that I've probably got quite a lot of driving to do to get back to Surrey this evening. So yeah, and then the challenge is to do it all in a day, so sort of midnight's my cut-off. Hopefully I'll be back a bit before then, but I need to get a bit of a move on. I start heading back over towards where I live. Now, I'm actually situated at the moment in the town that has the Snowdon railway in it, so I'm right over the far side of the Snowdonia National Park, so I have to cross back over the Snowdonia National Park to get back the way I came. So I think I've got a little bit of time, so I'll see if I can find anything else that's interesting to sort of drive around or drive along or whatever, and yeah, if I get anything good, I'll share it with you. But yeah, what a day so far. I mean, epic scenery, epic driving roads, and epic weather, and it's really been fun actually. I mean, I was really surprised I thought it would be, like, once I saw the forecast, I thought it would just be sort of painful and just really miserable, but actually I've really enjoyed like driving around Wales and sort of the challenge of getting here. And the XK8 is great. I mean, apart from the warning lights that came up, it just eats up the miles, and it's so refined in here that it's a sort of joy to be in and drive. But yeah, I just hope that I make it back all right, and the old girl carries on performing the way she has. So yeah, see you in a bit. Right, so I carried on driving on my way home, and then I thought, oh, something on the map caught my eye. So I'm quite a big fan of The Prisoner, which is, if you haven't seen it, is a 60s television show about a guy who's trapped in this place called the Village, and it's actually based in this Welsh village, or sort of fake village, called Portmeirion. And I'm here now, and it's a bit of a sort of dream for me to come here. I've never been here, even though it's only down the road, and I love The Prisoner, so it's a bit surreal, to be honest. If you've seen the show, then you'll know that just up there is number 6's house, and there's a tower over here, and then games of chess are held down here, and all sorts of surreal parades and things are held in that square over there. But yeah, totally weird and totally unexpected. I never planned to come here on this trip, but I just didn't really realise how close it was to where I was driving around. So weather is still absolutely shocking, but yeah, I'm going to have a little look around here and then carry on the journey. Driving through Snowdonia National Park down to this was also, actually, the roads down there were really great. Narrow, though I didn't take much video because it was a bit stop and start, people coming in the other way, but fantastic scenery nonetheless. But yeah, join me a bit later when I head away from here. Well, that was as surreal as the TV show, actually, going there, completely unplanned. But yeah, really cool as a fan of the show to visit the set, and picked up some merchandise. So got my number 6 pin badge and a couple of prints, one of the Mini Moke and one of the Lotus K8R 120C, which features in the show as well. I have to come back when it's better weather. I mean, I'll go on about the weather throughout this video, but it is atrocious today. But excellent to see this place. I think it would be a bit too windy for Rover to be out, which was a thing in the show, with a big inflatable white ball that used to catch people trying to escape from the village. But yeah, anyway, enough about the Prisoner. I think this is actually taking me a little bit further out of the way than I was, so the driver's going to take even longer home. So I have to set off now, really, to get back in decent time. Hopefully the roads are not clogged up with accidents and traffic and things, but we'll just have to see. Again, I'm going to try and use my Jaguar sat-nav to get me there. It got me here, that was all fine. So yeah, let's continue. Well, you can see probably from the camera facing forward that the weather, again, is getting worse still. And I don't know what the wind situation is outside, but the rain is really sort of hacking it down now. That my windscreen wipers are really sort of struggling to keep up. I'm quite glad that I'm leaving when I am, but I didn't want to leave any later because I don't really fancy driving through these sort of country roads, which aren't really lit with street lights in the dark, with all this rain coming down. So I think visibility would be very, or verging on sort of dangerous, really, because it's quite hard to spot now while there's standing water in the road, sort of like flying through these puddles. I don't know what sort of damage I can do by slamming into them, but just going off the road, even, like if it tugs on one side of the car, you might feel like you're going to be pulled off the road. It does seem quite stable though, the XK8. I'm quite pleased that it doesn't feel like I am going to crash, but So that's, you know, with decent visibility, you can kind of keep track of where you're going. But in the dark, I'll just be a bit worried about that. So, you know, hopefully we'll get out of Wales before it gets really dark and onto more street lit motorways. Don't believe it. So just as I was saying about being able to get back onto motorways and be safe kind of thing when it gets dark and stuff, my ABS lights come back on again, and I've got my traction control and cruise control malfunction back on again.
Straight on.
Can't believe it. So that means that if this doesn't go away by the time I get to the motorway, I won't be able to use cruise control, which is going to be a real pain. I mean, it's not going to be terrible, it's just going to be a lot less relaxing than it might ordinarily be. Yeah, it's not the end of the world, it's not the end of the world. But just couldn't believe it. It was perfect all afternoon. After it cleared, it's been fine. And then just approaching a roundabout, then I felt the pedal kind of do that vibration where you are using the ABS. So maybe there's water on the road or something, and it was just sort of vibrating, and then it said it wasn't available. So there must be a fault somewhere. Either that, or like the weather, there's too much water or something, it's splashed up somewhere making it go wrong. Yeah, ultra annoying, but hey ho, at least I knew it went before on its own, so just fingers crossed it goes away again. Down this hill and it's really steep, and I'm a bit worried about not having ABS when the roads are as wet as this. Scenery again, just magnificent really.
In 2 miles, straight on.
A lot of water on the roads. So we've left Wales now, we're on the motorway. The weather's still coming down really heavily, loads of rain and lots of wind. It did ease off ever so slightly on the way out of Wales, but it's back now on the motorway, which isn't making the drive particularly relaxing because there's so much spray everywhere. And also my cruise control has gone, so that level of comfort has sort of gone down a notch. Might pull over in a sec at services and just get like a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something, just to sort of liven myself up and maybe give my cruise control a chance of coming back again. But I've got a feeling this is going to be a bit of a long, dreary slog all the way home. But I'll keep you updated and hopefully I'll be back in good time. I mean, it's not that late now, it's only 5:30 and I've got like 200 miles to go, so not really that far. So I'll definitely get home before midnight. It's just a matter of when and in what manner. Right, just stopped off at a services on the way home to grab a cup of tea, and just reflecting on how bad the XK8 cup holders are. Actually, they don't look capable of holding any sort of beverage. I think it'd be pretty dangerous trying to drive off with this cup of tea in there. On the way back, I'm actually going to make it slightly extended and go to my parents' house to give my dad one of those prints from Portmeirion. I think he'd like the Mini Moke one, being a Mini fan. so that'll be quite a nice surprise for him on the way back. So yeah, we're not too far away now, I think less than 100 miles. Hopefully it all goes smoothly. The weather's seemed to have cleared up, it's not half as windy, and it's stopped raining now, so fingers crossed, an enjoyable rest of the trip. Right, so that was the final fuel stop before getting home, and I didn't need to stop. I could have made it on what I had, but I always like to try and keep cars full of fuel, just in case you want to use them, and then you just don't have the annoyance of having to go to a petrol station. But I noticed on the way into Cobham Services that there is actually a little bit of a underpass, so you might be able to get some good noises going through there in this. Right, nice and slowly, wait for the car ahead to go, and then ready, steady, pin it. Jesus. Interestingly, after that bit of tomfoolery through that underpass, my ABS warning and traction control light has disappeared now, and I now have cruise control back, but I'm only like 15 miles from home or something, so it's a bit little too late. But I really need to get that sorted out. I have no idea what's causing that. But yeah, just stopping, filling up with fuel. The ABS light came on when I started off from the petrol station, but then by the time I joined the motorway, it's disappeared, and I've got everything back. So just peculiar. Just like, it can't be something so bad that it like warns straight away every time. It must be something either on the verge of wearing out or giving up, or just an intermittent fault that keeps coming back. Maybe unrelated to something else. I don't know. But I have done a lot of driving today, so I don't know if something's getting too hot or getting some sort of leak, too wet because of the weather. No idea. Yeah, mystery. Right, I've just arrived back down my road from dropping off my the print of the Mini Moke to my dad. I think he enjoyed it, or liked it anyway. He seemed very pleased with it, which is good. He said he was going to frame it and put it up, which is cool. I have to figure out where I'm going to put my my Lotus 7 one. So reflecting on the day, excellent day. Loved it. I loved the fact that it was challenging at times with the weather and some of the roads, and even my ABS warning light added sort of jeopardy there. That's gone again. I've no idea what's causing that, so something to look into. Definitely intermittent, and seems to be related to higher speeds as well. So I'm wondering if maybe one of my tyres is underinflated. Well, I did check that. Or some sort of wheel sensor or something like that could be. But I thought we could just share some of the trip computer stats of what we've done today. So let's get to the beginning. So 605 miles, or 605.2 miles. I think we might have got interrupted. So average fuel 28.5, which I think is okay considering that we've been going up and down hills and things, and mixing up with a bit of motorway driving, so pretty decent. On the motorway, like solid 30, 31 all the time, and then driving up and down the hills and things, it was more like 19. I think the lowest I saw was 6.3 when I was putting my foot down. But yeah, that's to be expected really. Average speed 50 miles an hour, although just as I've turned it on it's gone to 49 miles an hour, which is pretty annoying. But 605 miles and 50 mile an hour average speed, so that's like 12 hours worth of driving, so quite a lot of driving, and I'm surprised I feel awake and fine actually. It was okay, and that's probably the takeaway from this, is it was really good fun. Even though I was on my own, I might take a companion next time if the weather's better, because it might have been a bit miserable for someone just tagging along. But going further afield, so I'm back at my house pretty much at just gone 9 o'clock. So there's more hours left in the day. We could have gone further, and I did stop for lunch. I messed around on those mountain passes for a while. went to Portmeirion, and that wasn't really like driving or anything, that was just walking around a sort of tourist attraction. So yeah, gonna do more of these, and hopefully you'll stay with me and see how I get on doing some more sort of challenges, I guess. GT in a day series. This is the first one. So thanks very much for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm on Instagram. It's just the same as the channel name, so @GrambleGizmo. So I normally put up more pictures of these types of trips and what I've been getting up to with my cars and stuff, if I can't make it into a video kind of thing. So check that out if you're on there. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.